the WSDL file we have seen in the last lecture. In this chapter number 6, this chapter is divided into two parts, right? So the chapter name is Web Services and the Contemporary SOA. So how suppose we have 100 web services, and how these web services can be converted into a contemporary SOA, right? So this chapter is divided into two parts. The first part is activity management and the composition, and the second part we will see in upcoming lectures. So in this chapter we are going to see different contemporary SOA concepts. The first one is message exchange pattern, transaction support, coordination, and in the next chapter we have security metadata and uh, security metadata, and one more thing is there. So in this chapter we have activity management and composition, right? So suppose you have a given a suppose you have given a research project, you have to design a new architecture that is distributed kind of thing. Suppose you need to design a distributed architecture, right? So for distributed kind of thing, for distributed web application architecture, what are the different concepts, what are the different things you need to address? Anyone? Any guesses? So suppose you have given a research project to design a new architecture which is a distributed one, right? So for distributed web application architecture, that architecture must have some support, that architecture must address some issues which are still open. Suppose that architecture must support messaging exchange patterns, right? The first one is messaging exchange patterns. The second one is how the different web services, let's say it is distributed, and the distribution is dependent on web services. So how the different web services going to coordinate with themselves, and how you are going to address the security of different web services, and and what is the how the different web services comes how the different web services perform transactions on them, means transaction support, how these issues are going to be addressed, right? So before designing a architecture, distributed architecture, these issues like activity management, composition, whether your architecture is going to support transaction or not, whether the your whether the your designed architecture mainly based on web services is going to support security part or not. These are the major issues. So first thing, I'm going to discuss what are the different issues, and later on we will discuss how the contemporary SOA is going to address that issues, right, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So different issues are, these issues are divided into two parts. Part one is activity management and the composition. So first issue is here activity management, how the different web services uh, performs activity, and how you are going to manage the complex activities, right? And how you are going to compose different web services, and how the management, how the composition of those web services, how you are going to handle it, right? And how the transactions in web services are going to be how the transaction is going to supported by the web services. These are the open issues, we will go through one by one. The first one we are going to deal with is uh, message exchange patterns, right? So what first we will go through what is message exchange patterns, why do we need it, and the third one is how the web services, means how the contemporary SOA is uh, addressing the issues of message exchange pattern, right? Everyone following me or not?
Yes, sir.
Let me do one thing. This chapter is about like these are the issues. Here the issues is transaction support. Transaction support. Please mute your mic, Siddharth. Okay. Why it is not working? Okay.
Sir, your mic is muted.
So first is transaction support. Second is message exchange patterns. Message exchange patterns. So we will see what is transaction support, what is message exchange patterns, and how SOA is going to implement this. Right. So we will see first what is message exchange patterns. Then we will see what is transaction support and how SOA is going to implement this transaction support and how SOA is going to implement this message exchange pattern. So for message exchange patterns, I have one web page, a website. See, suppose in message exchange patterns, suppose you have a complex scenario. Suppose you have a complex scenario. Let's say we have seen an example of loan processing example. In loan processing example, we have seen that that was not complex one, but for sake of simplicity, let's take that example. Let's say it is a complex one. So in complex example, what we have seen, uh, one web services is calling to another web services, right? One web service is calling to another web services. So there must be some message exchange between them, right? So one web service is calling to another web service. In that case, some message had to exchange between from web service 1 to web service 2. That is called message exchange, right? That is called message exchange. So we have different kinds of messaging exchange patterns. These are all predefined. We just need to learn these things. So there are mainly three kinds of message exchange patterns. First is request and response. Second one is one way, and the third one is publish subscribe. Everyone. First is request response. Second one is one way, and third one is publish and subscribe. So these three message exchange patterns are going to be supported by our SOA, right? So this request and response message exchange patterns comes into three flavors. First one is synchronous request response message exchange pattern. Second one is polling request response message exchange pattern, and the third one is and third one is asynchronous request response pattern. So everyone, please answer one question. uh, HTTP is a which kind of message exchange pattern? HTTP.
Sir, one way.
No, it is a request and response kind of pattern. You are requesting something from server, and on behalf of your request it responds you something, right?
Yes.
Everyone, that is request So there is one protocol, that is request and response pattern, which follows request and response pattern, right? So HTTP is a request and response pattern based. So what is request and what is response here? You know these things. So HTTP, when you request something from your server, so that is your request, and on behalf of your request, when server responds something, that is your response. So there are three flavors of request and response. The first one is synchronous request and response. Second one is asynchronous request and response, and the third one is polling request and response message exchange patterns. So suppose I am asking again one question. What do you prefer, chatting over WhatsApp or calling? Anyone?
Calling.
Why do you prefer calling?
Sir, it is time saving, sir.
Why it is time saving? Go on, go on. You have the answer, I know.
Continuous maybe.
Right, continuous. Someone may be prefer chatting over WhatsApp. Anyone? Why do we prefer chatting? In which cases we prefer WhatsApp, means chatting over WhatsApp, and rather than calling? In which use cases? Anyone?
Data, sir, data.
No. Suppose you want, Subham, you want to say something?
In case of asynchronous communication, we don't want to have.
So, right. So suppose you want instant reply. What do you prefer? Calling or chatting?
Calling, sir.
Calling, sir, calling.
Calling. So in case of calling, that is synchronous. I will sorry, I will make a call, let's say suppose to Nirmal, and when I say hello, on at that same instance he may reply hello or hi, right? So that is synchronous. When I am when I say something, when I request something, I expect I expect some response from him, right? That is synchronous. For from start request, after setting the request, I will be waiting for his response, right? Everyone.
Yes, sir.
So in case of synchronous systems, in case of synchronous communication, as a requester, I will be waiting for provider response, right? So calling is a synchronous system because I will be waiting for his response. But in case of chatting, let's say I say hi on WhatsApp to Nirmal, right? So I would not wait because he may be online or he may be offline. So in case of chatting over WhatsApp, that is asynchronous, right? If it is if Nirmal he is online, then he may respond quickly. Or if he is offline, he may respond after some time when he gets online, right? So that depends on him when he comes online, right? So that is asynchronous. So in case of synchronous systems, we are eagerly waiting to get the response from the service provider, right? But in case of asynchronous systems, we are not waiting. We are not waiting. We are continuing with our work, and we are not waiting for the response from the service provider. Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So that is the difference between asynchronous request and response and synchronous request and response systems, right? And what is polling request and response? Anyone? You may heard of this word polling in your computer networks.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Mahendra Sharma.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, when
Go on.
like
more than one like what we have studied, like more than one stations are like
No,
interesting.
that is the concept of token ring. I am not discussing that. I am only referring the polling part. Anyone?
Sir, if we are continuously requesting.
Yeah. So for suppose take a scenario. Suppose I make a request at 6 p.m. right, and after 15 minutes I again make the same request. After 15 minutes again I made the same request again, right? So periodic request is generated. Periodic request is generated. That is called polling. Checking whether the service provider is available with the response or not. Everyone. Everyone got this point or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is the difference between synchronous request and response MEP, and the second one is asynchronous request response MEP, and the third one is polling request response MEPs, right? So in case of distributed systems, like one generated using SUA concept, service oriented architecture is for distributed systems, right? So in case of distributed system, you can use, or you may need this one of these patterns to apply in your SUA project, right? So you must have seen the BPL process. In the BPL process, we were using synchronous. Have you remember anyone? We have 5 options there: synchronous, asynchronous, one way, publish, subscribe. Have you remember the BPL process while dragging that BPL process?
Yes, sir.
So that yeah. So we have these patterns to use in our SUA project. So in case of synchronous, so we have seen the request response synchronous request response MEPs, polling request response MEPs, and the third one is asynchronous. It is not written over here. In case of synchronous request response, what is the disadvantage in synchronous request response MEP? Anyone? Any guesses based on the calling concept?
So starvation, waiting for response.
Yeah. So as a requester, I will be waiting for response from the service provider, right? So that is the one of the disadvantage on synchronous request response MEPs, right? So what may be the solution? Anyone?
So timeouts after certain time. So timeouts are after certain time. We again request.
So one solution may be timeout, right? So at the receiver end, at the requester end, there must be a timeout so that the requester must not wait for so long, right? So in there is a concept of timeout at the sender end, right? Requester end, right? And one more solution would be to use streaming, right? So we should not wait for complete response from the sorry we should not wait for complete response from the service provider, right? What we could do, we can say whatever you have, please send it to me. Got the point? Suppose you are downloading a file from internet and that file is of 2 GB. So in that case, what kind of request response MEP it is? That is synchronous. But the solution is whatever you have, please send it to me. So the file starts downloading in your system because it streams, right? It started streaming from the server to the requester. Got the point, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Someone is asking something.
Does the file get sorted after that? Like we send like first part of the file, then fifth part of the file, then
Yeah. That is kind of streaming, right? Means the data is chunked.
yes, sir.
Okay. So that one is one solution, and the another solution is to use timeout. And the one more solution could be anyone, any guesses? Have you heard of threading, multi-threading?
Yes, sir.
How we can use multi-threading here? Anyone? Anyone? How we can use multi-threading over here to overcome the disadvantage of synchronous message exchange patterns? Anyone? Suppose, yeah, go on, Rishabh.
No, sir. If we use multi-threading, then how it will remain the synchronous one? Because in multi-threading, all processes are independent of each other. So
Yeah,
their response for any of the request might come before any other, or might come after any other. So how that should be synchronous? I don't know.
means I just want to say, create a one process, create a one thread that is responsible for invoking and accepting and receiving the output from the receiving the response from the service provider, right? And one other threads are working as usual, right?
Yes,
This
sir.
scenario,
Yes, sir.
sorry,
Yes, sir. We can have number of threads for number of requests.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So using multi-threading, we can also achieve, we can somewhat not completely, somewhat overcome the disadvantage of synchronous request response MEPs, right? Everyone, till this point, every point is clear or
Sir,
not?
sir similarly, we can also use request buffers also, right?
Sorry,
Sir, request buffers, similar way.
request buffers. I didn't get
Yes,
your
sir.
point. How we can use request buffers?
So let's say I put a request within a buffer, and I move on to another thing, another request. I'll put on to that into buffer also. So whenever the request gets a response, it's a response back to the
That
user.
is one of the solution in our asynchronous. You are confusing between synchronous and asynchronous. Okay, so moving on. In case of one way we have asynchronous one way MEPs, asynchronous one way verifiable MEPs, synchronous one way verifiable MEPs, and other classification as well. Please see, we have yeah. In case of blocking single threaded invocation, that is the case of timeout. Everyone, please see over here. In case of blocking single threaded invocation, that is the concept of using timeout as a solution, right? Non-blocking single thread, it is multi-threading concept. And one two no, sorry, non-blocking single threaded concept is using the streaming concept, right? Using the streaming concept, and multi-threaded invocation is the using the multi-threaded concept for overcoming the disadvantage of synchronous request response MEPs. Everyone, till this point? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So after where is the okay. So after after this part, we will see how this request response MEPs are going to be implemented in SOAP. Till this part, we have seen what is request response and what are the different flavors of request response MEPs. And till this part, we have we we have not discussed how this request response is going to be implemented in SOAP. So we will see this request response, how this sorry, how we will implement this request and response in our SOAP. That is the problem, right? This is the open issue. How request and response? What is request and response, right? So after discussing what is request and response and the different flavors of request and response, we will see how this request and response is going to be implemented in our SOAP message, right? So anyone anyone guesses how this request and response going to be implemented in SOAP? Anyone?
XML format मतलब
We can use headers, right? Because SOAP message is extendable. Extendable means we can add our tags, right? So using our new tags, we can implement these characteristics of request and response message in our SOAP, right? So in we can implement the synchronous and the polling concept and our asynchronous concept in our SOAP using the headers of SOAP, because SOAP message is XML based, and means the SOAP message is XML based means SOAP is written in XML, right? So in XML we know the developers can attach new tags, right? So this is the way we can implement request and response in our SOAP. We will go through this right. And the second one is there are three kinds of message exchange pattern. First one is request response, and we have seen the different flavors of request response. The second one is one way. The second one is one way, and the third one is publish and subscribe. Anyone knows this publish subscribe? Anyone? No one. Suppose you go to a website, and it asks you for to write your email. Anyone have experienced this one? Suppose you goes to a website and it asks for your email ID. Once you put the email ID in that text box, and after submitting it, whatever the new contents comes into that in that website, it automatically publishes, or it automatically sends you the email that the new contents is available in our website. Please go through it. It is just like subscribing the YouTube channel. Once you subscribe a YouTube channel, whatever the new contents comes into that comes in that YouTube channel, it automatically sends you the email, right? That is the publish and subscribe kind of thing. Got this point? So how this publish and subscribe kind of thing? Suppose you want to design a distributed systems, and let's say Amazon is a distributed system. So suppose you add a wish list. Means you added a feature like whenever the product rate comes to 20% discount, please send me a mail, right? Got this picture?
Yes, sir.
So once the product discount gets to gets up to 20% or maybe 25%, you will get a notification, right? So in the distributed systems, you may need or you always need this publish subscribe pattern, right? So publish subscribe message exchange pattern so that you can easily implement you can easily implement this publish subscribe feature in your distributed system. You do not need this to code this from scratch. You just need to use that framework, right? What are those frameworks? These frameworks are already available in your SOAP messaging framework. You do not need to code it from scratch. So that is publish subscribe pattern. You can use filtering in this consumer side filtering and provider side filtering. We will go through this. And the third one is one way asynchronous. Can you guess what is one way? Anyone?
When we are downloading something,
Sorry.
so when we are downloading something like downloading server, that's one way.
It is like fire and forget. Fire and forget. The one-way message exchange pattern is that in which consumer sends one of message to a provider with no expectation of a response. Right. So we are not expecting any response from the provider. Fire and forget. Suppose you want to push a notification. Does it expect something from you?
No, sir.
No. So in case of one-way message exchange, suppose you want to implement some notification system in your distributed systems, in your distributed architecture system. So what you can do, you can use this one-way message exchange pattern. And this one-way message exchange pattern is a generic name, right? It is a generic name. How we can use in our distributed system? In distributed systems, this one-way message exchange pattern is known as in-only SOAP. In-only SOAP. The terminology is different from the generic message exchange pattern, but the thing is same, right? And it is also known as queue-based systems. Queue-based systems. Have you heard of Apache? Anyone? Sorry, Apache. I'm. What is the name? Messaging system. There are different. Kafka. Anyone? Apache Kafka. Microsoft messaging systems. MSMQ. Microsoft messaging systems queue. So these are the things which are used for one-way message exchange patterns. Right. One-way exchange messaging patterns. So these are the things. See, whatever we have in under the section of asynchronous request response, right? That is being used as a that is being used with the help of message queues. Please go through it. What is message queues? We have different kinds of message queue. We have Apache Kafka. We have Microsoft JMS. Anyone heard of this JMS, Java messaging systems? No one. Okay. So these are some high level concepts. So the one-way message exchange pattern is used when we are not expecting any response from the user, right? Any response from the service provider. So this one-way message exchange pattern is a general concept, but how this general concept is implemented in SOAP, it is known as in-only SOAP, in-only, right? In case of SOAP messaging systems, this one-way message exchange pattern is known as in-only. So there are 4 flavors of one-way message exchange pattern. One is asynchronous one-way MEPs, asynchronous variable one-way MEPs, and the third one is asynchronous reliable one-way MEPs. So in asynchronous one-way MEPs, this is pure fire and forget. These are same name for the same thing. Synonyms for the one-way message exchange patterns. Fire and forget means you fire and forget about the response in one link. Means just do the request part, forget about the response part. And the queue based, it is used for messaging systems. So these are the same. These are the some synonyms for this one-way message exchange patterns, and these are the some flavors of it. Asynchronous one-way MEPs, asynchronous verifiable one-way MEPs, and the third one is synchronous reliable one-way MEPs. In case of asynchronous one-way MEPs, the pure fire and forget implementation of the pattern in which the consumer has no means of verifying message arrival. Please go through it. Please go through the definition of this, these three. Everyone going through this asynchronous, synchronous. These are simple things. Please go through it. You will understand easily. That is verifiable and that is reliable. I am going to ask what is verifiable, what is reliable. Rahul.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain what is verifiable?
Sir, in verifiable, provider allowed to again communicate with the consumer, sir.
Somsekhar. Somsekhar. Ranveer Singh.
Yes, sir.
What is verifiable there? Verifiable in asynchronous one-way MEPs.
Sir, in asynchronous, sir, one way, provider will provide the message, and then there will be an acknowledgement for that.
Acknowledgement is in reliable part. See, in asynchronous one way, that is pure fire and forget, right? There is no kind of no means to verify message arrival, right? As a requester, I will not be able to verify that whether my message, whether my request is already reached to the service provider or not. There is no means to verify that, right? But in case of verifiable and reliable, we have two things here: verifiable and the reliable. But in case of verifiable, what we have? A variation that allows provider to communicate back to the consumer at a certain point to notify the message has arrived, right? But in case of reliable, the delivery of one-way message with an expected knowledge acknowledgement from the provider. So these are the three flavors of one-way MEPs, and see one thing here. See, in SOAP messaging framework, we have two versions of SOAP. First one is SOAP 1.0 and second one is SOAP 1.2, right? So in SOAP 1.0, I am talking about request and response in SOAP, right? So in case of SOAP 1.0, we have request response, solicit response, right? But in case of 1.2, we have in out, out in optional out, out optional in, right? These are the different names of for the same request and response. Anyone got this point, everyone? These are the same names in SOAP 1.2, in out, out in optional out. Here are the description. Please go through it. In out, out in optional out, out optional in. Right. These are the four flavors. These are the four message exchange pattern. We have already discussed each one of them, but here the name is different. What is the generic name for this one? The generic names are synchronous request response MEPs, policy request response MEPs, non-blocking single-threaded invocation, non-blocking single-threaded invocation, non-blocking or multi-threaded invocation, right? So these are the four things which are mapped to in out, out in optional out, and out optional in, right? We will again go through this part in our lab. So in that part, in our lab, we will go through how to implement these things, right? So in synchronous, we have seen this, yeah. And suppose we have other classifications like single destination, multicast, and broadcast. Suppose you have, in case of single destination, we have one destination only. But in case of multicast, we have predefined set of destination, and in case of broadcast, we have all destination in the given set. You know these things. In that cases, the SOAP messaging, the general name of message exchange patterns converted into this. These are all the synonyms for the same names: in only, out only, robust in only, and robust out only. Right? Please map them with the generic name so that you can understand and you can map the discuss thing, right? In only, what is the different name of in only, what is the generic name of out only, what is the generic name of robust in only, and what is the generic name of robust out only, right? Please check here. Please go through this. I will be sharing this web link. We have already discussed these things. Now come to our PPT. So the chapter starts with message exchange patterns. We have already seen these things. These things are discussed in a good manner in our web link. I will sharing that web link to you. Please go through that. Message exchange pattern, we have already seen these things. These things already seen. Request response, we have already seen these things. See here. From here, how MEP is related to SOA means how the message exchange patterns framework is implemented in our SOA. So that part is implemented using SOAP messaging framework. How it is implemented in SOAP messaging framework? The extensible nature of SOAP allows countless messaging characteristics. What are those countless messaging characteristics? That are the different MEPs, right? And these MEPs are implemented via SOAP header block, right? We have already discussed these things. See here, request response operation, solicit response, one-way operation, notification operation. in, out, out, in only, out only. We have already discussed these things. Please map with the generic name. Means in, out only is known as request response, MEPs. We already seen these things. Out in pattern is out in pattern is reverse of in out. Means here the service provider act as a service requester and service requester act as a service provider. In only means fire and forget. We have already discussed what is fire and forget. That is in only. Out only means that is event notification systems. We have already seen these things, but you need to map what is the generic name of these patterns, right? So we have robust in only pattern, robust out only pattern, in optional out pattern, and fault optional in pattern. Please go through it. We have already seen these things. You just need to map it with the generic name. How MEPs are, how MEPs, see here, MEPs and SOA. MEPs are highly generic. These are generic concepts, right? And abstract in nature. They are fundamental and essential part of any web service based environment, including SOA. Means, suppose you want to design a new architecture, and for new architecture, one of the major concern is MEPs. How you define, how your architecture is going to adapt that MEPs. So that similar architecture is SOA. So SOA, how SOA is going to adapt this MEPs? MEPs is going to adapt by SOA using the SOAP messaging framework. Everyone till this point. Please say yes or no.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, you may be feeling that these concepts are not discussed over here. These things are already discussed. Please map with the discussed pattern. These are the different name for the same thing. These are like synonyms, right? So please go through what we have discussed, and what is the synonyms, what is the generic name of this robust in out only pattern, so that you can map in your mind that that robust in only pattern is the synchronous request response messaging pattern, so that you can map in your mind, right? So please go through it once. Already discussed. So in the similar fashion, there exists a communication pattern in our REST messaging systems. We will go through this communication pattern in REST in our lab in deep, because it has only 2 slides over here. So these are simple things. You already know these things, but we'll go through this REST pattern in our lab. We were discussing the SOAP pattern. After discussing the SOAP pattern, we will go through this REST pattern, how to design REST APIs, and we will design a complete set example if time permits, so that you can design your API, your own API in your own way. So we will see this in our lab. Now, the first concern, what was the first concern of designing of distributed architecture? Anyone? What was the first concern? To
manage concurrency.
So the first concern was how the different web services, suppose you are designing an architecture and that architecture is distributed one. So in case of distributed one, if you are designing an architecture that is interoperable also, so you must have you must have a message exchange patterns, right? That architecture must support message exchange patterns, right? These message exchange patterns are generic in nature, right? So anyone wants to develop a new architecture, you should consider this message exchange pattern to adapt in your architecture easily, right? Because these message exchange patterns tells you about how these different web services or whatever you have at your architecture, in your architecture. So since we are working on service oriented architecture, we have web services here. So we will talk about web services here. So the one major concern was how the different web services is going to communicate with themselves, right? So there are different ways to communicate. Suppose one web services wants to invoke to other. Suppose one web services wants to invoke second web services, and it does not require, it does not wants to wait for the response. Which pattern you will go for? Anyone? Suppose a scenario comes where a web services wants to invoke another web service, and the requester web service is not going to wait for the response of the web service provider. So for which pattern you will go?
Asynchronous.
Asynchronous, right? So you know the generic name that you will go for asynchronous request response message exchange patterns, right? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you know the generic name, but what is this name? What this generic names? What is the synonym of this generic name in SOAP? You don't know still. The generic name of this is
In only.
request response operation. Right? These are the synonyms of your generic names, right? Please go through it and map it. Whatever we have discussed, please map it. What is this, and what is, please map it, right? So that you can guess which pattern you need in your project and for your web services communication part. Got the point or not, everyone? Suppose a scenario comes, let's say you have in your distributed system. Suppose you have designed a YouTube, right? And there is a feature of subscribe. There is a feature of subscribe, so that you can subscribe to a particular channel, and after that, whenever sorry, whenever a new video content uploaded on that YouTube channel, you will get notification. For which pattern you will go for?
So publish subscribe.
Publish subscribe pattern, right? But in case of publish subscribe, sorry, for subscribing feature you need publish subscribe pattern, right? But you have already subscribed to a particular channel. Which pattern, for which pattern you will go for? You have already subscribed.
Asynchronous.
One way. In our message exchange pattern, that is called one way. And which in a one way we have three patterns. One was pure one way, right? That is fire and forget. And the second one is verifiable, and the third one is reliable, right? So do we care about whether you got the notification of the uploaded video? As a software engineer, do we actually care whether you got the notification of videos uploaded or not? Anyone? We actually do not care, right? Because it is not a sensitive content. Whether you got got the notification of your videos, notification of the new video uploaded on your YouTube channel or not, right? So in that case, we simply use fire and forget, right? Because using the verifiable and reliable kind of thing, that is one of the overload on the system, because you need to verify. Everyone got this point or not?
Yes, sir.
So depend on the context. depending on the context. Suppose you are a you are a user of a company, and whatever new thing comes into your company, new project or whatever it is, right? So you need to know. So you just subscribe to your notification system, and in that case it must be reliable one, because as an employee of the company, I need to know everything what's going in the company. Got the point? So in that case we must use one way verifiable system, because as an employee of the organization I need to know. But in case of YouTube subscribe feature, whether I got the notification or not got the notification, as a user I don't care, right? So as a software engineer, the engineer also do not care about whether you got the notification or not. So he must use fire and forget. He not going to implement the verifiable and that reliable system, because it is an overhead. Everyone got this point or not?
Yes, sir.
So see the context where you are using one way verifiable, one way reliable, and when the one way fire and forget, pure fire and forget. Depending on the context, we are going to use that, right? So one way verifiable or one way pure one way, that synonyms is out only pattern, right? In case of SOAP, it is known as out only pattern, right? So please map it, whatever you have we have seen in our today's lecture. Please map it with one to one, right? That this is known as this pattern, this is known as this pattern, also this is known, right? Please map it to one of the pattern we have discussed in our class. Do one thing, please map it and take a snapshot and please forward it to me, so that you can get it better. Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one of the major concern of designing a new architecture, let's say distributed architecture, and we are going to design a new architecture that is service oriented architecture. So one major issue is coordination, right? One major issue is coordination, and what is coordination, we will go through this part in our next lecture. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Any doubts till now?